Okay, everybody, we are back at BB's. We're making a roast today. I've got some flour. Don't have to be a certain amount. This is about a cup of flour, so that's for later. I just put garlic salt in it. First, you have a skillet over there with grease in it, heating up. Oil, grease, whatever you use. And I put quite a bit of garlic salt in it because this is going to be a whole roast. I put some black pepper. I mean, this is to your taste. You know, everybody's taste is different. And today I'm going to put some brown sugar and bourbon on it. It's quite good. Haven't used it in a while. Salt, things with salt in it tends to, all you gotta do is do that right there. Beat it on the counter, shake it up a little. Let's see, we want the sprinkle type. Because this is just for a little flavor. It ain't flavoring the whole thing, so you want more. I mean, it's Charlie, leave the kitten alone. Anyway, we got a new rescue kitty I showed y'all. And then this is just, you just stir it up. Just stir it up. And it's to your preference on how much salt and pepper and so forth. I'm going to put just a little bit more of this. Get a good flavor of it. Because it does have a good flavor. The apple rub also has a good flavor. As you can see. Okay, here's my roast. I just take it out. Roll it around. Get it good and floured. Make sure it's good and floured so we ain't got that flour. Just roll it around. A good layer of flour because we're fixing to pour it in the skillet, hot skillet. And yes, this is a little flour because this is a giant roast going to be, you know, and we will use this flour. Don't throw it out after you're done because we're going to reuse it for the gravy. So we don't want to throw it out. And it's a little carbs, not a lot. I mean, you know, I have traded a lot of things for almond flour and different things. But my roast, I will not do. Let's see if we can turn you around. Turn the whole thing around to the stove. I'll fix you better in a minute. This is hot. I don't want to pop in. Right there. We're going to fry it on medium-high until it's golden brown on all sides. A lot of people do not do the flour. They just put it in there and sear it. And you can do that too. But I like to have, got my deal, so when I put it on its side, I can hold it up there. I like to do it this way. So let's pause you. Okay. Get 2 forks. They don't have to be giant forks, but mine are. Poke it and turn it. You see the coloring? See the coloring? It's good and golden brown. Oh. And if you need to, you can leave that there so it'll hold it up. Anyway, and while that is happening, you are cutting your potatoes and things up to go in your roast. Lock this up a little. Remember, this is for our gravy. So it'll all have the same flavor. I'm going to get my cut board. Any kind of onion will work. I'm using yellow onions. Okay, because I got this pretty hot grease, so it cooks it pretty fast. And you can put this in the oven, or you can just leave it in the skillet. If you have a thicker, taller skillet or pot, you can just put it over onto it and cook it right on the stove top. You don't have to put it in a slow cooker or the oven. It can cook right on this, but you got to have a big enough pan to put your vegetables in to cook with it. We're just going to let that do. Turn you back around. We are going to chop up onions. Just clean your onion. Like so. I always do that. Cut it one time, just a little bit, not all the way through, to get that top layer, that thick layer, and that way you don't have no tough onions in your soup, or in this case, your roast. And you can rinse them. I do sometimes. I don't sometimes. Just depends. For a roast, you don't want them too small. You want them kind of quartered up, just chunks. Kind of like that. And I've got 3 potatoes over there in the sink. I'm going to clean them and cut them. That skin sometimes gets everywhere, even though I rinsed everything. There's 3 people going to be eating the roast, so I'm making 3 small potatoes. If I was not eating lower carbs, I would have more potatoes, because I love potatoes, as everyone. I don't skin my potatoes or peel them. Gotta turn the roast. I just do the same thing for the potatoes, just kind of quarter them. See how small they are. Trying to keep them. I'll probably just half that one, it's too small. That one too. There's no set size to be. Now I like garlic on mine. Let me go this way. I do a clove of garlic or several little buds of it anyway. I always keep my garlic in the ice box because it keeps better. And longer if you don't use it. And just scrape that off like that. Hope you can still see me. And I like the big ones, as I've said before. That should be enough. We'll do that one because it fell off. We'll just move that over. And we just simply peel it, squish it a little to break the seed inside. And these I just kind of cut in half and leave them whole. I don't dice them or nothing. I just cut them in half, and so that you can get the garlic flavor in the gravy, and then you eat that piece of garlic. Of course, you're going to get garlic flavor. So that's how I do that. I might have got too many garlics here. This one is a big one. When they're this big, I'll slice it 2 times, and have 3 pieces made out of it instead of just 2. I like to eat the garlic with my roast. Oh, I didn't cut that one, did I? Got to get over here and turn. Let me turn you around so you can see again how we do this. See how I got my fork sticking out there? You see my fork sticking out here holding it up. Now we're going to do it this way. Just kind of leave them there, and it holds the balance while I'm getting the rest of the stuff ready. Now we are going to go in a slow cooker today. I did not have everything out. Clean that. And a bell pepper and some celery. Let me wash them. You always wash all your vegetables before you put them in anything. They say they wash them at the store. They do not. On the celery, I just cut the ends off. I leave them, that one's about a half. I leave them about half size, so that if people that do not like celery does not have to eat them. Then we're gonna, oh, that's just 1 clove. We'll throw it in, or 1 bud, excuse me, clove, whatever you call them. And we're just gonna clean this bell pepper, as you know how to do, I hope. Take the top off, stick your hand in there and get that out. You can also use this here. It does not hurt. That is a good piece of... Some people don't put bell peppers in their roast. They flavor them quite nicely. That's got a bad spot on it. We're not going to use the bad spot. Kind of slice it up. I mean, not everybody wants to eat a bell pepper, cooked bell pepper, so we just do it that way. They can pick them out. They're going to have to wash this up, put the pot up. This is my pot. Put it down here. Let me wash the counter off. Because you don't want seeds and things all over your bar underneath your pot cooking. I marked on my bar the other day. I don't know if you can see it with the magic marker on accident. I thought the lid was on it and it was not. I'm going to have to bleach that off. Okay. Here's our pot. I did not show you this. This is a twig of rosemary out of my garden. I put my herbs in my flower garden so they're easy to get to when I need them. I just broke it off and we're just going to put it on top. We've got all sides of this roast seared, so now we're going to pick it up and we're going to put it in. Right there in the center. And this hot grease over here, I'll turn you over here. Let me see if I can move you closer. I'll move everything else out of the way. There you go. Maybe you can. And this is our flour. Our skillet is still hot. And this is our flour we used. We just dumped it in there. And like I said, it does not have to be measured. And I'm not going to use one of these. I mean, you can use one of these. You know, forks, so you don't have to dirty another. But this makes very good. And my phone is ringing again. Okay, then you get some water. Now this is brown gravy, so you want it to just go ahead to brown. Put a little water in it. Most of the water is going to go in the pot. See how thick that got real quick. I hope you can see that. You can see that. Yeah, you can see that. It gets real thick real quick, see? And you don't want it too thick when you pour it on top of your roast. So you thin it out a little. Because a roast, and then you just leave it kindly thick. We'll let that cook a minute, but not too thick. You don't want it, that's a little thin. But anyway, we're going to let that cook a minute. And we're going to put our vegetables in now. While that cooks just a minute, because we're going to pour it on top of our, I don't think I can get you any taller. Let's see if I got a... Let's see if we can get you taller. Oh, there's a, well, that's too big. I either got too small or too big ones. Nope, that's not going to work. Let me see here. I got my bucket I'll take out to the garden. Maybe it'll be tall enough. Yes, I think so. We'll move our vegetables out of the way. So I don't want the tablet falling in the floor. This is why I need one of those things that there we go, like that. Okay, I can just tilt you. There we go. See, our roast is in there. Our gravy is about done. We want to arrange our vegetables, just kind of spread them out around. So everywhere gets, and I always save a couple of the garlics to put right in one onion, to put right on top. I don't know, I just do it. I put my rosemary, I put my celeries in. Whoop, dropped one. Guess we're not eating that one. And I always put my rosemary on top too. And I'll pinch, you pinch a couple of these leaves off and you just kind of break them up. Just kind of break them up. They are extremely powerful flavoring. You don't need much. I usually just use the twig, you know, kind of like you'd use a bay leaf. You stick it in there, but you don't eat it. Now, this little pieces that I'm breaking off, you will eat. That are good, very good spices. And I smell it quite well. Woo! Open them sinuses. It's got a very strong flavor and smell to it. And I do that. I'm going to get a cayenne pepper. My knife. Just a cayenne pepper. It's already been washed. I cut the head off and I will slice it. Right down like that. I'm going to cut it in half because it's a long one. Put one on each side in the vegetables. Put one on each side of the meats. And I'll show you. See? Hold it. This is my cayenne pepper. There's my... And I've got my rosemary right there underneath. We don't want that pepper to fall off. Okay, and I just got my vegetables are sorted around it. Let me get the carrots. I haven't got the carrots out, and this is almost done. We're going to go ahead and turn that off since I forgot to get the carrots out. I'm going to put you back up here. I'll run get the carrots. I got them in the freezer. I don't think they're in this freezer. I'll have to get in the big freezer. Carrots you can freeze right up. I just got some baby carrots. You can freeze right up to time to use them. Just kind of smush them down, break them up on the counter, and they're ready to go. You don't never have to, until you use them to cook. You do not have to thaw them out first. We're just going to arrange them around. Now it's time for our gravy. Hot rag here. And then I just see how thick it is. And I just pour it over the top of everything. Oh, got it on my shirt. If you're like me, don't cook in good clothes, because I get it everywhere. Then we're going to take some more water, because you want your roast, you know, everything's going to have water to cook, and you just kind of pour it around. I'll show you what it looks like with the, so I just poured it. Gravy was over there on those carrots too, but I just washed it off with the water. I'm going to pour some more water in there, a good amount, and that thick gravy